What's good, y'all, man? We reacting to the news, man, by Paul Finebaum. He predicts that Deion Sanders will leave Colorado after this season. So, as you guys know, Colorado suffered a 28-10 loss to Nebraska in Lincoln this past weekend. And it was not a great performance, right? And some of it, is lack of accountability, I think, to a degree. I know they blamed a lot of the offensive line. Were they great? No. The offensive line was not great. But to a degree, I also blame a little bit on Shador because some of those snaps that he did have, he was holding the ball 4 to 5 seconds. Excuse me. And the problem is, too, there's no creativity to the offense. Now, obviously, a lot of it does fall on the offensive line. It has to be better. But, guys, think about this. Anytime you evaluate and look at the offensive line real quick, you got to have camaraderie. You got to have continuity, right? You can't just put 4 or 5 transfer guys on and expect for it to flourish, expect for it to be good. These things take time. So I think you're seeing that. I think you're seeing dominant fronts. And the part that was probably the most frustrating, they were bringing 4-man fronts and still getting home. Like number 66 was getting killed the whole game. So I think for Deion, and I don't like the spill that he gets. Colorado does get a bad rap. They play for clicks. That's what most people say. I don't agree with that. And this was a tough game against Nebraska. This helped them get ranked, yada, yada. But he's saying they're going to fail to go to a bowl game. I don't necessarily believe that. I think they could be good enough to win 6 to 7 games this year. Still, even after that loss, and still make a bowl game. Now as Paul alluded to, they're not going to have Travis, no Shador. But think about this. Deion can bring this program out into new heights. Now, from a revenue standpoint, he's already done that. From a culture standpoint, he's already done that. He's made it one of the faces, whether y'all believe it or not, of college football. Now, has that translated to winning? Not yet, because he went to 4-8 last year. This year they're off to a 1-1 start. But like I said, they have these expectations like they're supposed to be a top team, from the media. And I know they obviously expect that of themselves. So it's one game. I think it's important not to overreact. And I think he has a good staff in place, like for the most part. I think the offensive game plan needs to be better. I think you got to tell Shador, you got to go with your checkdowns. And, sometimes the big play is not going to be there. You're going to have to scheme these guys up. It can't be the Travis Hunter show, or Shador show. It has to be Jimmy Horn, Webster. Shepard, number 14, was having a game, getting him the ball, letting him win 50-50 balls. You got to take advantage of the matchups. And I feel like they failed to do that. And I felt for the most part, and y'all clown me if y'all want to, the defense did what they were supposed to do in that game. When you evaluate and break it down, they had a pick 6 in that game, won 7-0. It was early on in the game, still neck and neck. And the defense really only gave it 21 points. So they pretty much kept you in it. Now, of course, did Nebraska make plays? Yes, but they was getting the goal line stands. They was stopping them in the red zone. So the defense did what they were supposed to do for the most part, in my opinion, with Colorado. And I know Deion agrees with that. But the offense just has to be better, and along with the offensive line. So to a degree, I do disagree with Paul Finebaum. I think just because if they don't have a successful season, I don't think Deion's going to leave. I think Deion's locked in. He just wants his son and obviously Travis, his other son, not by blood, but obviously, considers him a son, to do well and to be a high draft pick in the NFL next year. And I think they both will be. I think they both are top 10 picks, hands down right now. Whether you say they had a bad game or they got all this other stuff that comes with them, they're top picks. So I think for Deion, is figuring everything out. I think a part that a lot of people aren't talking about is their class, the 2024 class. They have to have a better class this year coming in as far as recruiting. Obviously it's going to be a 2025 class. You're going to have to flip a big target. And I think when it comes to offensive line, you got to get guys that are cornbread fed. Guys that, that grew up on farms, and there's no disrespect to that culture. I love that culture, but I'm just saying, you need guys that are different. You need guys that all they know is football, and are hungry and things like that on your offensive line, respectfully. So I don't think he will leave. I think he's going to be at Colorado for a long time. And I think he's going to turn this program around to what they used to be back in the day when they were playing the high-end Nebraska. They was number 3, number 2 in the country. So you got to take your lumps, man. And Deion's taking his lumps right now. But nobody expected him to have a 3-0 start last year, and they were able to do it. Now, it went 4-8, but still, they was able to do it. So I believe in Deion. They got to figure some things out. They're going to always have a target on their back, unfortunately. That just comes with the territory and who Deion is. But you can figure some things out and still be a formidable team. And you're going to have to pull off some upsets. You're going to have to beat a Kansas State, a Baylor. You're going to have to beat Oklahoma State. It's doable. Arkansas gave Oklahoma State a run. Now, again, that's an SEC team compared to a Big 12 team in Colorado. But you're going to have to pull off some upsets. Go back to week 1. Nobody expected them to beat TCU. They pulled it off and did it, right? So do you need these kind of games to kind of repurpose you, kind of reform the team, and makes you lock in on what is most important? And I think that's what it is, man. Taking accountability and continue to put, your right foot on the gas, man. So I do disagree with Paul Finebaum. I think he's going to be there for a long time. Which I comment below. Will Deion Sanders leave Colorado?